Ready?
Let's do it.
Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess, and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever, and it is Celebration Month, and it is the week of guests, and we have Eric. He's back, and it is number 499, and we are going to talk about an extremely goofy movie. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
An Extremely Goofy Movie is a 2000 direct-to-video release. It's directed by Douglas McCarthy, who is best known for The Road to El Dorado, Phineas and Ferb, Digimon Digital Monsters, and 8 Crazy Nights.
The supervising animators were Bob Baxter, Andrew Collins, Kevin Peaty, and Steve Trenberth, all of who have been covered in previous videos.
The film was edited by Nancy Frazen, who is best known for Black Rain, Space Jam, Gravity Falls, and The Breakfast Club.
The music was done by Steve Bartek, who she previously covered in the Meet the Deedles video.
The film was written by Scott Spencer Gordon, who is best known for City Guys, Saved by the Bell, The Golden Girls, and Spies. The film stars Bill Farmer, Jason Marsden, Rob Paulson, Pauly Shore, Bebe Neuwirth, Jeff Bennett, Vicki Lewis, and Brad Garrett. All of them except 2 I've covered in previous videos. They'll be linked in the description.
Bebe Neuwirth plays Sylvia. She was in Cheers, Jumanji, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and Summer of Sam.
Vicki Lewis plays Beret Girl and is best known for Finding Nemo, Mouse Hunt, News Radio, and Godzilla.
The film received a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes and was considered fun, funny, ambitious, and surprisingly good.
After 9/11, the film was to premiere on TV, just so people could watch it on TV, and because it was so close to right after 9/11, they removed the scene where Max is underneath the On Fire X Games logo. It's in the final version. You can watch it on Disney Plus. They put it back in the movie. They just had removed it for the TV broadcast so soon after 9/11, which is interesting. What do you think of an extremely goofy movie?
You know, as sequels go, especially for that time in Disney, it's definitely one of the better ones. It's an interesting, entertaining story. It covers a very real subject for families. Not only, the child leaving home, in this case with Max, but also the widower with Goofy not having, a wife to fall back on because, whatever happened to Max's mother not being there. So Goofy has to search for that next thing in life as Max moves on with his own, and it's a really good exploration of something like that. In terms of one small beef I had with the movie, it was that they didn't continue the storyline with Roxanne in the original movie.
100% same.
Because you work so hard through that storyline in the original, it was such a great part of that movie, and then to just basically make it disappear in the sequel, I kind of had a problem with that because I felt that long-term relationship aspect that, a lot of kids have with college, going from high school to college, would have been such a great thing to explore in addition to all the other stuff they did. But aside from that, everything about the movie was really fun. I really had no big gripes about it other than that.
I agree. I've always been salty because I love Roxanne. I think Roxanne is an interesting character that could have been explored in a sequel more than she is in the first one, obviously, because in the first one she's just like, Max's like dream girl. But in the second one, it would have been really interesting to explore their dynamic in an established relationship, how they were going to have a long potential distance, or just how they're going to grow up together in college, if there would have been any issues there. But then also exploring Roxanne as a character, I think could have been interesting. I'm also a little salty it's not a musical. I love that the first one's a musical.
Sorry.
You didn't put your phone on silent?
I did not.
I'm a little salty it wasn't a musical.
I agree, because the first one was outstanding as a musical,
Right.
And don't get me wrong, the music in this movie was actually great because, it's pretty much all 70s style music, and you really can't beat it. But at the same time, you had such a talented cast with all the singing from the first one. Why wouldn't you continue with that into the second?
And in the first one, every song, besides the Powerline songs, which are bops and We Stan, drove the plot forward. Like, After Today is all about, like, how he's like, I can't wait until after today when I can, like, talk to Roxanne and not feel like a fool.
Right.
And also have Summer to, like, explore that. And, all the songs that, well, except maybe the Possum song. But, like, the song between him and Goofy, Nobody, that song, or the Road song. Like, all of those
They
like,
all
drive
fed the
plot
right.
forward. And, like, I would have loved to have seen that in this film just with what the plot is. Like, a rival song between, like, whatever, what's the sorority, fraternity's name?
The Gammas?
Yeah, the Gammas, between the Gammas and Team 99. Like, that would have been really fun. And then Beret Girl.
And you could have gone with a sort of a grunge style music, which was kind of big in the skateboard scene at the time. So
right, I'm biggest salt moments Roxanne being excluded and it not being a musical. Definitely big things for me. However, I do love the subject matter that they tackled. I feel like with the Goofy movies, as funny as they are, they still tackle such like big serious things. Like in the first one, he's worried about Max like growing distanced from him and also like becoming a bad kid, so he's desperate to like, instead of punish him, build a bond with him, which is so huge. And then in this one, Goofy's looking for his next thing, like you said, but also like he's fired and he realizes he can't go farther in life without going back in life a little bit. And just then like the weird, like he's overstepping by attending the college his son is at, but also is like trying to better his life because now his son is gone. And it was just so complicated, but also it was like so funny because it's a Goofy movie. Things I laughed at. I'm saving room for weenies. Made me laugh more than it should have, but it did. Then, I'm sure you didn't notice, but in one scene, I think it's either Max is skateboarding through like the town or whatever, or Goofy's driving through the town with Sylvia, there's a marquee and it's showing movies, and the movie names are like The Goof Father and The Goofinator, and I died. I thought that was amazing.
Oh, you gotta love parody stuff like that.
Like
that they slip
just the attention to detail.
Oh, sure.
Just the fact that they
That's
snuck
classic
that in
Disney.
there. Other classic things, always some kind of mention of Mickey Mouse.
Sure.
So the Mickey Mouse panties was really funny. And then we love the fourth wall break of Bobby. Do you ever wonder why we're always wearing gloves?
Oh man, that was a classic.
An iconic one. I love PJ gets a little romance moment with the Beret Girl because he's so like sensitive and amazing.
And you also notice there's a more depth to him because he's actually into poetry and stuff.
Right, and just I love getting to see Pete away from his dad.
Exactly.
Which is really nice because, you know, PJ is getting abused.
Oh, verbally abused.
Right, well, I mean,
but still,
we don't know.
abuse is abuse.
Yes. Beret Girl is amazing. I love her. I have always loved her. Even when I was little, I thought she was super cool. Do you have memories of seeing this for the first time?
For the first time, you know, vaguely. I think I actually saw it on TV for the first time. And, you know, Beret Girl obviously stuck out because that's the intention, but just how different the characters were this time compared to where they were in the first movie, you could notice it almost right away. And, you know, it's actually remarkable how much more chill and confident Max is in himself once he gets to college, you know, confident in his direction, confident in what he wants to do and what he feels he can do. That was totally not the case in the first movie.
100%.
So you can sort of notice that advancement of the person that he's becoming little by little. He still has, you know, the problems with his father, and they're still kind of working through that.
What I love, though, is it's not necessarily the same. I mean, it's a little bit similar of a problem, but Max comes to it at first in the beginning of the movie from a very loving place. Like, when his dad shows up at the college, he's not mad that his dad is at the college because he says, I mean, he got fired. I understand why he's here. I understand he's got to finish his degree. Like, I'm proud of him for finishing his degree. It's when Goofy tries to suffocate him that Max starts to have the problem. But
which is much more adult-like.
Right. When Goofy first shows up, he understands why his dad is there and is not like, you can't be at the same college I am. He's fine that his dad is there. It's when his dad starts to suffocate him, which I agree is a giant leap from the first movie, which I think is appropriate because in the first movie they did such good growing. But the scene at the beginning when Goofy's alone in Max's bedroom after he leaves like cuddles the little
that's rough.
Right in the heart. You're like, okay, thanks. Why is Goofy always making us cry even though he's the funniest character? Like, what the frig?
You know, as much as I love Mickey and Donald, and I do, Goofy's probably the deepest character of the three when you think about it.
He's the only one with 2 feature films.
This is what I'm saying.
Like, he's the only one that's had enough room. Like, he's got a son. Friggin' Mickey and Donald have girlfriends. Who are amazing.
I mean, Donald has his nephews in the DuckTales stuff, and all the other animated things. That does add more depth to him, which is great. But Mickey is actually, surprisingly, the least developed of the three, considering his popularity.
Mm-hmm. I think that's on purpose.
Oh, probably.
I've been saying in eons of years at this point that I want to feature a Mickey movie.
Sure. I mean, come on. How huge
We've had all these shorts, and they're all shorts of Mickey in different scenarios, not Mickey himself.
Yeah.
So it's like Mickey and the Beanstalk. Okay, that's him as if he were, in the giant beanstalk moment. And then Christmas Carol is Christmas Carol, but with the Disney character. Sure. So it's like, none of them have actually been, like, Mickey. Like, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas? His little short with Minnie, I mean, that's part of their character.
If you think about it, ironically, the most developed Mickey's become is with the YouTube stuff we always watch.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, and they started, they actually made that a show on Disney Plus with new episodes that aren't on YouTube.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I know, they're good. The Goofy movies are amazing, and I agree that this is one of the better sequels of the direct-to-video sequels. It
just makes you wonder if they had waited a little longer when they started taking sequels a little more seriously, like they do nowadays, how much better it could have been. But considering the amount of resources that were put into it, which was clearly less than the first one, I think they did a fantastic job with it.
I agree. I really like it. I have nothing else. The dancing in the credits was cute. Sylvia's great. I think Sylvia's a great character. Yeah. I think she's amazing. We've mentioned it a few times by ourselves, but Bradley Uppercrust III.
Oh, God. What a tremendous name.
A fantastic name.
Perfect villain name, perfect snooty, upper class type name. The facial expressions, everything fits with this guy.
And Jeff Bennett, good sir. The perfect voice for him. That's everything. What would you rate it?
I would give it, by itself compared to all other Disney movies, I'd probably give it about a 6. But in terms of Disney sequels, I would give it an 8. It is very solid.
So which one are you choosing?
I'd choose 8.
8 what? What should we do?
8 big shoes.
Big shoes? Why big shoes?
Because Goofy has huge shoes.
Not like skateboards or anything, just big shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 big shoes. My final rating is 7 big shoes out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parentetto and Cry Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. Follow Eric on Twitter. He writes sports things, mostly about the Bears, sometimes about other Chicago sports. He's also on a bunch of podcasts. Check him out on Twitter.
I sometimes talk about video games.
And other things. Godzilla. Sometimes he tweets about
anime,
my stuff. Sometimes
random stuff.
About my stuff. You're out here retweeting my stuff. So follow him. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday, but a week straight right now because it's Celebration Month and the week of guests. Thanks for being here. Join Patreon. You only have a couple more days to get a couple benefits of the tier above whatever tier you join. Buy merch. You only have a few more days to get this. Hoodie, tank top, t-shirt, long sleeve, a bunch of colors. Get it. And then all the other merch is still available. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you do you, and don't be Bradley Uppercrust III about it. Thanks, bub.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We did it.
We did it.